What did they say when they gave an answer? And verse 11, and thus they returned us an answer saying, we, not I. See, it's we. Do we not understand it's going to take a village? It's going to take a group. One person can't do it. One person can't do it. And don't you love it? It's not like we, you know, we did it. But you know what? I don't have to outrun them. I got to outrun you. Because they're going to get you. But we did this. But again, we are the servants. Now that's a key word. We are the servants of the God. How many? One. That's powerful, y'all. We are the servants of the God of heaven and earth, and we are rebuilding the temple that was built many years ago, which a great king of Israel built and completed. Verse 12 again. But because of our fathers provoked the God of heaven to wrath, God will get angry with us, won't he? Well, let's have a few examples of what? Sodom and Gomorrah. He got tired of that. He destroyed what was it, 3,000, 4,000 in that one day? I think he destroyed it. He destroyed a lot of men twice. I can't readily think of that. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, one was 3,000.
One was 3,000.
The flood.
The flood. What did he say? It sickens me that a made man. We don't ever want to be in that state. We don't ever want to be in that state. It says, but because our fathers provoked the God of heaven to wrath, he gave them into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, the Chaldean, and who destroyed this temple and carried the people away to Babylon. However, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Babylon, King Cyrus issued a decree to build this house of God. It was like, I gave it to you, I took it away. We're going to start all over. But it's still going to be done on my terms. Still going to be done on my terms. So Cyrus issued a decree to build this house. Now, here's what's good. Everything that was in it, you ain't keeping. That was taken out. Also, the gold and silver articles of the house, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple that was in Jerusalem and carried into the temple of Babylon. Those King Cyrus took from the temple of Babylon, and they were given to one named Shalmaneser, whom he made governor. And he said to him, take these articles, go carry them to the temple site that is in Jerusalem, and let the house of God be rebuilt on its former site. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it right, and we're gonna try to make it just like it was. And you know what? It's almost like the Bible. Don't take nothing away from it. Don't add nothing to it. If you take something away from it, it needs to be taken up here and taken to heart and taken to thought and then taken out into the world. Don't take away, don't add to it. And King Cyrus said, whatever was taken out is going back. Because what was the most precious metals back then? Say it again. Gold and silver was a measure of what? Say it again. Wealth, stature. Wealth, stature. We need to have what we have and not try to have more and not try to take more, because God's not going to be pleased. You know, a lot of people, and it's so sad, are going to have to start doing some rebuilding across the United States because of fires, because of floods, because of tornadoes, because of hurricanes. Why are some of them going to try to get more than what they had?
Some not going to be able to get it out.
Some not going to be able to get it all, but some are going to try to get more.
But, you know, but Mike, in that when you're talking about the king, and it's really interesting because here it is, Nebuchadnezzar took all of these things from them and put them in captivity for some 70 years. All of this. But then when they got ready to release them and tell them they could go back, he said, all this that Nebuchadnezzar, Darius was going to say, hey, I'm going to give this back to you to help you start to rebuild.
Yeah.
So the Lord touched his heart to go like, hey, look, that what you took, give it back to me.
And it's almost like with what God blesses us with. We can't just hoard up everything that God blesses us with. Because if we do, then we'll be like the man whose barns, they were so pressed full. And then what did he say? I'm going to tear them down and do what? I'm going to tear them down and do what? Build bigger barns. Oh, but what he didn't understand was that night, here's what? Soul was going to be required. And what Cliff just said it again for those that didn't hear about having this, but giving it back to start over. Well, let me just say this. Sometimes we have to give something to help somebody get started. Does that make sense? We just can't keep it. We just can't keep it. Because you know what? It's not ours. It wasn't ours in the first place. It was a blessing. And if we remember where it came from a great foundation. It came from a great God. And if we need to be replenished, if we need to be rebuilt, but if we done what we were supposed to do with what God gave us, won't God take care of us? Job did everything God asked him to do, right? Job lost everything, right? Job still did not sin. And then Job ended up with more. He ended up with more. Did Job leave the land? I mean, I don't think I've read, did Job leave the land, just say, I'm sick of this place, I'm tired of this place, it's not a good place, I'm going to go start somewhere else? In this lesson, are they going anywhere else? No. Say it again, brother.
Staying on site.
Staying on site. Because who chose that site? God chose that site. Sometimes we can't leave God. No matter what encompasses, I don't have my tooth in, I'm sorry. Encompasses us, sometimes we just got to stay the course. Stay the course. Lose a little bit. One of our biggest problems, though, we got to try to figure it out. We got to figure out why. Is it up to us to know why? No. But here's something else also. Even though the building needed to be restored, and we've touched this already, did God take everything? Did he take everything? He restored the building. But everything that needed to come back, it what? The article, all the gold, the silver, Cyrus said, take it back. Take it back. And that's why when you look at this, the title says, Restoration Resumed. Sometimes we get sick. Sometimes we feel down. Sometimes we feel bad. Sometimes we run out of this. Sometimes an obstacle gets in the way. But there's two things that I love. It may be happening to me, but the big picture, who's doing it? What have we read? Who's doing it? God, but he's doing it through us, and that 1 2-letter word is we. Remember the word we? So we still can get back in and help with the restoration. We can still get back and resume the work. Things are going to hit us in ways that we don't know. But know that the work of God is going to be carried on. Now, what are we building today? What are we building today? Because the cornerstone has been laid. The kingdom of God. We're building it today. Because at one time, and I may be wrong in saying it this way, had it been destroyed? It's been hurt. It's been hurt. And when I say that, I'm saying it like this. When Jesus died, where did the 12 go? They was up in the upper room. They were scared, right? Didn't know and it was like, but I'm back. Now we're going to build this. We're going to build this better. And you know what? I'm going to bring along somebody who wouldn't have put a nail in nothing. And he's going to be one of the greatest ones to help get this thing built. And who was that? When he saw the light and he was blinded. That's why we can't quit. Now, I just had to throw that in there because it's not just us. There's going to be others who are going to see something great being done. And it's like the last lesson. They wanted to be a part of it. So let's do what the Bible tells us to do. Go. We may not nail a nail anywhere, but we have a job, even if it's just to go and invite. That can help with the restoration. Because why have a big building if you don't have any what? Workers. When the building is complete, what do you need? Big empty building with no noise coming out of it, no rejoicing, no praising. We're going to have people. We're going to have worshipers. That's one thing I know we always say about the church sometimes. Well, we're having our homecoming, but we'd like to see more than us. Let's fill the building up. Let's fill the building up. Did we envision this 10 years ago? Has this building, this is another great example, has this building been restored? Was the whole just structural foundation or the main part plan, was it all changed? Was it? Okay, let me kind of rephrase that. The sanctuary is the same, but is it different? Okay. Did we decide to cut this in half and just use this half, make this half a parking lot, do away with that? We used what we had, right? And we made it better. And we were able to make it better from workers, from believers, and having the faith that God will see us through it. And did we run into some obstacles, like the letters they ran into? Did we run into an obstacle with the fire riser thing, where they said it was too old? Ain't nothing too old for God, because God can make a way. I don't have no knowledge. Okay. So, I've been talking so much. Please, anybody.
Well,
Questions?
You know, the thing is, you had, you know, sometimes in here, we're not, or I guess sometimes afraid just to go ahead and get the work started. Mm-hmm. But the Lord sent to them prophets Haggai and Zechariah, just to come in and stir them up to get this work started. So sometimes it takes people to come in and motivate others. So they were like fire starters, and not only did they just talk the talk, but they got in and worked with them. Mm-hmm. They didn't come there to supervise them. They all got in and did the work. Sometimes we need those fire starters to get in there and start up and motivate the people for the cause of God.
And the key thing he just said, it's for the cause of who? It's for the cause of God. And sometimes all we think about is us. But we got to look at the big picture. It's not about us. It's about God. And it's doing the will of God. God wanted this work to be done. And as Brother Cliff said, he said Haggai and Zechariah to be the fire starters. Now, in here it said they needed some heavy stones moved. They needed some timber to be laid. Sometimes some people just don't want to work. They want things to be given. They want things to be easy. But are things going to be easy for us living here on this earth? Are we going to endure some hardships? And I think the thing is, it still always has to be we. Because if I try to make it me, I'm not going to make it. It has to be we. We have to be on the same accord. We have to know who's in charge. And we have to know who we're doing it for. And I think what hurts me sometimes is we can't see it. We just want to see it. We want to touch it. You know. What is this? That which is unseen. Y'all help me out. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. things that, yeah, there you go. Yeah. And that key word is temporal. Do we want something temporary? We want something permanent. Are our bodies, is our time on life, is our life on earth temporal? Because the Bible says it's appointed unto man what? Once to die. Now here comes the everlasting. It's appointed unto man once to die, and after that is the judgment. And no matter what that judgment is, how long is it going to last? Forever. Now, in this temple that we talked about that was being rebuilt, where's the gold? It's going back in, right? Where's the gold that we can see everlasting? Would it be nice if it was some of that same gold that paved those streets that was in the temple that they're building? But the thing is, it's not going to be easy. There may not be work that we want to do, but the work has to be done. And I like what Brother Cliff said. They didn't come in giving orders. They came in working with them. Working with them. That's huge. Yeah, somebody has to lay out the plans and the blueprints, but when it comes time to put the hand to the plow, as some of the farmers know, well then I can get out there and do some rowing up too. So, God's will is going to be done, whether we decide to get involved or not. His will be done because, again, it's more than just us. So we can choose to be a part of it, or we can choose to sit back and join in later after the work is complete. But the key is God going to be pleased with what you know and what you did or did not do? Anyone else have any comments? Like I said, these to me, these lessons are not easy, and I don't mind telling you that. Anyone else have a comment about what we've talked about? Oh, please interject something. Anyone? Okay. Oh. So, the last three scriptures said, 15, 16, 17, and he said to them, take these articles, go, carry them to the temple site that is in Jerusalem, and let the house of God be rebuilt on its former site. Then the same Shabazia came and laid the foundation of the house of God, which is in Jerusalem. But from that time even until now, it had been under construction, and it is not finished. Now therefore, if it seem good to the king, let a search be made in the king's treasure house, which is there in Babylon, whether it is so that a decree was issued by King Cyrus to build this house of God at Jerusalem, and let the king send us his pleasure concerning this matter. Aren't we happy when people are pleased with us? Everybody likes a good work being done. And you know, this is just not a good work, it's a great work. It's a work that's going to stand forever. It's not just this structure being built here. The structure that's being built, and I think this is what we need to understand. The structure is Cliff. The structure is here. The structure is here. We're building here. We're putting gold in ourselves. We're laying great foundations because the building is not the what?
Wood and stone.
Say it again.
The wood, stone,
We are the building. The building is not the wood. The wood and the stone, as we've seen in these past few months, can be destroyed, but things can be rebuilt. But the resolve of rebuilding things and having the faith, the resolve to get it done is where? Right here, because we have faith. Faith conquers anything that can happen. And that's what we need to remember. Anything can happen. We can build this building over, but it was the we that got it like this. This is a meeting place, but it does not have to be the meeting place. The meeting place could be back over in the villages. The meeting place can be at somebody's house. The meeting place, well, I guess it's not a place, but it can be on the internet, on a Zoom. But if we're all there, if we're all talking and we're getting the word, the key is this can't be destroyed if we give it to God. But we also have to know that things are going to happen. Things are going to happen.
Yes, sir. That's like 4 minutes.
Okay.
But since it was right there, we got to realize that I don't care how beautiful we make this building, it ain't going to happen.
No. No.
It's not going. So we adore this place, a place to come in and worship God. But this building is going to be.
Remember what I said earlier? Wouldn't it be nice if some of that gold, see that gold that was being put back in that temple, maybe some of that gold is going to make it to heaven and we can walk on. Because that temple is not going. The body temple, the temple of the body, and that's what our body is. We need to remember that too. Our body is a temple. We need to remember that our body is a temple. This is the building that can go to heaven. This is the body. This is the temple. And the greatest thing about it is it can be we. I don't want to look at it as me, but we can look at it as we. We helping each other. Because again, things are not going to be right. And you know one of the best ways we can help each other? One of the best ways is if you've had a life experience and you can readily identify with somebody and you can tell them how you made it, how you trusted God, and this is how I rebuilt my temple. You may not be able to rebuild it your way, but know that you have not been the only one in that type situation. Try my way. If not, let's find a way. But it's we through prayer. We through tears. We through hugs. We through calls. But it's we, not me. What's my old term? There's no I in team. It's team, me. I got to be able to put some others up before me. Because if I can keep others motivated and elevated, then that gives me something to do. And it also teaches me some things, and then others can help keep me motivated and elevated. And the motivation that they needed was to be able to do that hard work of lifting those stones lifting that timber, but they knew who they were doing it for. You know, when you go team and me, you got a goal. You're trying to win. They had a goal. Restore. Restore something that God built so that someone can enjoy, so that some people can meet, so that some people can come to a place to say, this is nice, but look at the people and look how they interact. If this building were to go away again, first of all, when the building was down, when the building was desolate, these people still had to meet somewhere and talk. They still had to meet somewhere and talk. Everybody checking watches now. But church, I'm glad. I mean, I'm a little bit slow on these again because, you know, I struggle with some Old Testament things. And I appreciate Brother Cliff, Brother Martin. I got some nods and amen from Brother Bay and Sister Camille, and I can't tell who that is. That mask, was that Shonda? But Chinese wife, but I can't tell. But thank y'all, because I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you, the last 6 weeks has been a fight for me. But there are some in this room and out of this room, and you refused to let go of my hand. And I'm smiling because I know I'm back where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to do, and you didn't give up on me. Bless you. Pray for me, and thank you for everything. If we could, Brother May, will you close us out?
Father God in heaven, again, we thank you for your word, for your purpose around my heart. Pray that you continue to be with the rest of the rest. Thank you for the teachers